Hello again, Card Warriors. Today we are discussing a new topic: what to do if Dragon Ball Card Warriors dies, like we all believe will happen at some point in the near future. This is also a potential solution for anyone who has the X45 issue and doesn't want to purchase the game on a console because their Steam account got locked out. So I am on an application called Tabletop Simulator. It regularly goes on sale on Steam, and it is honestly just an amazing application in general. You have the ability to create your own cards in this game and then use them as if you were using any cards in a given, in a real life scenario. And you have the ability to create new cards and to generate text on those cards. So as you can see here, I have made a Videl, and she is looking very overpowered here. You have basic functionality that you can do. You can hit F to flip, you can hit E to cycle it clockwise, and then Q to cycle it counterclockwise. There's really no tapping in this game, so they can just stay mostly straight, but this is just one of the many things that you can do. You could also load in a different background environment that's not this circular table. I know that Red Sparrow is working on making playmats that already have the basic outline and logos for the Dragon Ball Card Warriors aspects. So there's a bunch of stuff that's available to be utilized to make all of that work. For this particular example video, I just want to show you quickly how you can use this program and create your own cards, and what some limitations would be if you were trying to use this to play Card Warriors. So you can flip this face over, and you can see that you can select both the front and the back. So obviously, I'm choosing Inigo Montoya sleeves because those are hilarious. And this is just one particular card. You do have the ability to copy anything in this game, and you can paste it. So I now have 16 Videls. And you can see that I can draw one, I can draw another one, and so on and so forth. Now, let's say that you don't want a deck that's entirely Videls. Understandable. You have the ability to hit Custom here, and you can see how there's a face and a back. The face is what's on the front of the card, and of course the back is on the back. If you're playing any type of deck, you're going to want all of the backs of your cards to be the same, otherwise your cards will be marked, so obviously you're going to want to have some type of thematic sleeve, in air quotes, for the backs. For the front, you can upload any given file that you might have. So let's say we want Energy Cutter Vegito. You would want to save it to the cloud instead of local, because that means that everyone else will be able to see it. And import, and this will turn into an Energy Cutter Vegito, or Vegeta. And now we have one of these. Woo! And I'm going to make an event card real quick, just as a sample. I'm not actually planning on playing, but I do want you to see something that's relevant here. So, custom. I can change the face of this particular card, and we will switch it to... Where did I park my car? Right here, to outer space. Save to the cloud, upload, and import. Okay. So there is a drawback to using Tabletop Simulator that the main game does not have the disadvantage of, in that it knows what your cards are and it won't let you cheat. So if you have a card like To Outer Space, which says which says if the top card of your deck is an event card, draw 2 cards, otherwise draw 1 card. Well, unfortunately with Tabletop, you would probably have to do either an honor-based mechanic where your opponent is going to believe you, or you would have to reveal the top card of your deck, which now means that your opponent knows what you just drew, which is a little bit different, and it would change the dynamic, but there are some limitations that this has, because unfortunately, because everything has to be done manually, it's either going to be the honor system, or you're going to have to show the card where it wouldn't be shown before. This would also apply to cards like Exoskeleton, where you have to send an android from hand back into deck. How do they know it's an android? You'd have to reveal it. So that's kind of where you're at with that. Unfortunately, I don't know of a way to work around those particular issues. Now, you also will need to have, say, life counters and other things. So I believe that there are just various objects that you can utilize. That's the background. So one cool thing about this program is it just has a lot to offer. Like you can see right here, this is like I don't know, it kind of looks like a prison almost, but you can change it to a field. Now we're playing card games out in the wilderness, so on and so forth. There's so many options, and I'm actually not super familiar with all of them. But one thing that we'll do, I'll show that in a minute. Let me see. Objects, that's what I was looking for. So I can change the table to be any of these given tables. I can create saved objects, and you can actually make an entire deck and save that as one object, and then just load that. So I'll just load one of my decks from a different card game so that you can see. Why are they all over the place? How do I get it to stop making them? There we go, just hit escape. So this is my extra deck for this game. That's my starting unit for the game. And this is my deck for the game. Oh, lost it. And you can see that I was able to just select them all and load them all in a particular location and have all of that be saved. So there's plenty of options for that type of versatility with the game as well. Let me see. In order to create a card from scratch, obviously you're gonna have to make the first card. So you can come over here, and then you can see that they have like marbles, figurines, dice, other tools. So you can just hit card, custom card, and then you just have a completely blank custom card. Oh. And then you can put the face and the back on it. So I'll use my Inigo Montoya sleeves again. Let me see if I can figure out where I put it. And there we go. And let's make Super Saiyan Goku. And as you can see, now we have a brand new card, same sleeves as the other ones. You can also right click and add comments. Let me see if I can remember how to do this off the top of my head. Let me hit custom. That's not it. There's ways to write the text on the card, because obviously the way that digital card games work is they don't actually put the text of the card on the card, and you can view it through some other menu. It's not scripting. Let me see. Oh, that's like drawing the card. That's dealing the card. So, long story short, there is a way to actually utilize it so that it creates a note on the card, so that way when you hover over it, you see the note. Oh, description, there it is. So, this card gains 4K attack during your turn. And now, oh, there it was. When you hover over it, you can see it says this card gains 4K attack during your turn. So this will let you put in the effects of all of the different cards as notes on the card so that you can read them. So there's two other things that might be difficult. So you can just load your SP deck face down like this, but you won't be able to see what your cards are. So you'll have to kind of memorize the order in which you have your SP cards, which could be annoying or it could be not annoying. So you could also just choose to have your SP deck be a deck, so 5 cards face down, and then you could search through them manually by come on. Okay, for whatever reason these cards do not want to become a deck. I wonder if it's because I made them differently, like separately. I don't know. Oh, right, because one of them has the rounded edges and the other one has the rectangle edges. So I actually did make these distinct, and now they're like, you can't make them into one deck because they are not the same cards, which is fair. Let me see if I can edit that in the custom options. Base, back is hidden, sideways, rectangle. So I made the other one just a strict rectangle. And I wonder if now I can... Yeah, there we go. So you can actually right click on this. There's a shuffle option. And let me see if there's a search. There it is, search. So now I'm searching through this without showing my opponent. That didn't seem to load right. I did something and I messed it up. So let me fix that real quick. But you can see that I'm able to take it out of the search menu over here, drag it over here, and utilize it this way. There's a few other things I have to show real quick, but let me see if I can fix how I made this. Because right now this is actually like split into 4 cards almost? I don't know. These are all okay, right? I wonder if maybe that's what that rectangle option meant. Oh well, I'm just going to delete these for now. I didn't do that. That didn't happen. You saw nothing. Alright. But yeah, that gives you the options as far as like creating your deck and searching through it and all of that jazz. So one way that you can shuffle it is while dragging the cards. If you just shake up and down real fast, it will actually shuffle it. Now it'll be difficult to tell that I shuffled it. Let me search the deck. Although you can see that, you know, I have all of these Videls, and it just so happens that the 2 outer space went to the middle of the deck when it was the top card previously, so boom, the deck was shuffled. You cannot shuffle the deck while you're searching it, which makes sense. And when you finish the search, you probably will want to shuffle. Woo. There are other objects that you can utilize to keep track of your life totals, so let me see. Tools. Counter. So you'd probably want a counter for your bank and a counter for your energy, bank, and life total. So let's see. I don't know if this has a max. Can I type it in? So this caps out at 9,999, which is not enough for 30,000. But since everything is in increments of 1,000, you could just make it 30. And then this you could have for your bank every turn. That could be your starting energy going second. And then have this be counting for your bank. That's one possible thing you could do. There are also, I wanted objects, other tools that you can utilize to keep track of certain other things. Let me see. MP3 player, that's fun. Let me see what other objects we've got. Okay, so unfortunately we're missing yellow and purple. Trying to figure out the best way to keep track of references. Let me see. Do marbles roll? Okay, they stay put. So I guess you could, there's purple, green, blue, and yellow. You could use marbles if you can get them to stay put, and then just have them sitting at the side of the table. Copy one when you get a reference. And I'm sure there's probably better ways to do this that I don't know about, but I'll leave that to other people who actually want to make the next thing, which would be you can actually save a loadout. So one particularly dedicated person could actually just make an entire, let me go back to the main menu. They could make an entire, what is it called? I guess it's a workshop mod, but you can see like right here there's a Dragon Ball Super card game. I have Card Fight Vanguard on here. And I also was working on other stuff. Well, actually this is all stuff that I was doing today. So let's just open up Card Fight Vanguard. You don't have to know what Card Fight Vanguard is. Just know that this is what we can have preloaded. So in this particular case, I have 2 different decks. One is a Dark Irregulars deck, the other is a Cray Elemental deck. And I've got everything just preloaded into this. So I've got Imaginary Gifts, my extra deck, and my main deck. Imaginary Gifts, my extra deck, and my main deck. And you have the ability to create these custom boards. So I know that when I was looking over at what Red Sparrow was doing. Red Sparrow actually had like this portion of it completed. I'm not that experienced with Tabletop Simulator, so I don't actually know how to do all of the fancy stuff. I just kind of know how to use it and let other people do the work for me. But yeah, so this is just one of many other things that you can play in LOL. And let me see if I think that should just about cover it. There are other components that I don't know how to access. There are other custom objects that you can create to help keep track of stuff. You can even like put a tablet into this game that connects to the internet. So there's just all kinds of stuff that you can do to simulate an actual card gaming environment. Like I mentioned, there are some limitations that you have where, you know, if you want to play an event card that requires you to draw an event card, you kind of have to do that based off of the honor system. When something would select randomly, you're going to have to use, say, a dice roll. But otherwise, this will be able to mostly take care of what you're looking for as far as playing the actual game itself. And since most of the game does not require you to do anything fancy in order to get it to work, most of it's pretty straightforward, and you just have to increase your mana every turn and keep track of your bank and your references, and that's mostly it. I think that this is actually a pretty reasonable game to transition to tabletop. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.